senators in your county?
So far, what we have been seeing, Senator J. Flower Brown is becoming one of the outstanding senatorial aspiring in Maryland County for all indication due to his intervention for the community people. Even in previous local district, people are all talking about J. Flower Brown. In half of senatorial district, people are also talking about Senator J. Flower Brown for his intervention. A lot of students are also applauding Senator J. Flower Brown because today some of them, they are all into Tubman University. Also facilitating their fee in terms of their payments, their educational payment. They also provide financial.
Thank you, Moses Giblet. Thanks. Sabbath George will talk to you tomorrow morning on details of what is obtaining in Maryland County. Thanks so very kindly.
Thank you.
Thank you so very kindly, Moses Giblet. I will open the line for at least 7 minutes. As soon as Abdullah Kiatama joins me, it's just 5 minutes to 5 o'clock. I think I can take them up to 5 minutes past 10 o'clock. No, 10 minutes past 5 o'clock, sorry. So in the eye with the callers outside there. The people from Maryland County love this song so very kindly. Welcome to the show. You are live on the Bumper Show. What is the name? Let me hear you quickly.
Thank you. The name is Honorable Cyrus Adiakono, journalist, politician, the incoming representative of this number 4 Magidi County.
Wow, let's say you Honorable Cyrus.
Yeah, thank you. I listen to still songs of Magidi County. These are people who I trust, who want to understand the just on history now, all the politics of our country. And let me say hi to every one of them. And,
so do you support their ideology to make the man called Natana Mangel senator of your county?
No. I want to be thankful to God for Mangel launching a scholarship for the young people. As small as I am, we were able to talk to Minister Mangel, and he came to Magidi County where he launched a scholarship. I can boast that I say I brought Mangel to Magidi to launch a scholarship.
Do you support his running in the county?
No. Let me tell you, if what I'm hearing that Honorable Nukwe is not supporting Honorable Mangel, then it means my love for supporting Mangel will be unwavering. It will be unbalanced and unchivalry.
Thank you. Let me take Christian Yanti. You made your point. Christian, you have just 20 seconds because you're not from Magidi County.
Thank you, Stella. And I want to appreciate the conversation studio for reading between the lines to have chosen Maggie as the way forward for the people of Magidi. That is important to make this point clear. Like the brother you made that even the American government, it is a violation of the rights of those of whom are in session, because you cannot give a person, you cannot sanction a person or rather a verdict against them without a due process, because due process is a process that here before you convict. But the point is, in the jurisprudence of our country, it is a whole lot of different things, and our people have seen a total change in mental revolution. So that means Honorable Maggie is somebody necessary to support, is somebody necessary to be the senator of that county. But one point, quickly before I drop the line, this issue about somebody not coming from their county so they shouldn't contest in that county, it is a far-fetched idea that as the progression of the welcome in our country, if the person has never in the contributed to the ordinary masses of the people in a particular county, why me? The person is a Liberian. Let them be given the opportunity to contest.
Okay. Thank you, Christian. Christian Yanti, thanks a lot. Christian, thank you. You made your point. Let me take Jerry Zuckerman from Lofa County. Jerry, how are you? Jerry, are you there? Okay, let me take this call for here. Hello, welcome you live on the Bumper Show.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Griffin.
Good afternoon. What is the name, sir?
I'm Abraham Key Jr. calling from ONSP Police Academy Community, sir.
Police Academy. Okay, let's say it quickly.
Yeah, I just want to give my little reservation. And, Liberia now, politics is getting on powerful because you can say somebody now for the zero, they say shouldn't run a while for you, and then he get a whole team more value than any other things out of build out to Magidi.
Okay, you mean Nukwe?
Yeah, Nukwe, you got a very beautiful hospital community there.
Okay.
Build out to Magidi to help the people of the government understand, because if every senator or representative in each county or district that do this develop.
Thank you. The next caller from this line, welcome. Let's hear it quickly. No time. Hello, you drop the line 080514096 07766800373. These are the two numbers 080514096 07766800373 are the two numbers. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You sound like Mike Doko.
Yeah, this is Mark Doko. Jala, thank you for the recognition.
All right, Mike.
But for the public, I'm Mark Doko, and let me appreciate my comrades for the excellent deliberation. You know, it's so laudable when people say that you are a Liberian, but you don't have the right to go in other country and make development within that country. I see that as a laudable gesture. But Minister Magay, about to call him senator now because Camp 2023, Minister Magay will be the next senator of Margibi County. And I like the advocacy put up by the Congress studio. Continue your advocacy. All these guys that is talking negativity of Senator Magay today or Minister Magay today are just talking it on an envious level because
Thank you.
Magay go in that. Hello?
Yeah, thank you. You gotta end quickly. No time.
Yeah. So before I end, if Magay gets in Margibi will be transformed because evidence of the fact that Magay is not there now, but still going to the country to transform the country educational wise.
Thank you, Mike Doko. The next call on this line. Welcome. What's your name, sir? Where do you call from? This is Jala, not Clarence here. Jala Greenfield. This is Jala, not Clarence. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. The next caller. Welcome you live. Let's hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, welcome. Let's hear you. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm calling for the Maryland County.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, the mentality of Liberians. Liberians will have two types of Liberians. The destructive one, the abandoned, and the good one. Basically, we are quite sure realize here. Why we should the Liberian to come again? But this is all system now. Everything happens. So I don't also look at again. I'll be one of them.
Thank you. Thank you for that point. Let me take the next caller. My guest Adra Kiatama should be around. I hope my security can bring it along. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. Nyale want to go.
Thank you, brother Jara. This is Andrew Moses, and I joined a conversation this evening for the Freeport Intellectual Forum.
Oh, you're not here. Tell us how today?
Brother Jara, but I Elizabeth don't mean to people not tell us a long time.
Let's say you have 20 seconds.
All right, thank you, Jara, and let me share the brothers in the studio there for the Spanish liberation. Jara, I hail from Margibi County. I live rest of my life. I live about half of my life in Lower Margibi in the country there. So we will not stay in that county and allow people who call themselves politicians to bring separation among us. The first narrative that Honorable Emmanuel Nugwe wants to run with, it cannot hold water. You cannot look at someone that Minister Magay and say that he's not for Margibi.
The man, a former minister now, he's not minister again.
Former Minister Magay and say that he's not for Margibi County. Even you yourself that is talking as someone that's not hail from Margibi County, you don't even for Margibi.
Thank you.
As far as we concern, to conclude, as far as we concern, Mr. Mange is a citizen from Magibi County.
Thank you. He's a citizen from Magibi County. As soon as I get signal for my guest that is around, I will call it a day. And the next caller, welcome.
How are you doing, Jala?
I'm okay. You sound like Aaron Zane.
Yeah, this is Aaron Zane.
I'm not heard you for a long time, Aaron. I'm not in the iTech, but I still know the voice.
Yeah, no, what I respect you for.
Go ahead, let's say Aaron.
Now you see the issue of Motorado Mercury contesting is very simple. I can listen twice already in Mercury. Based on personal Motorado, I can say contest Motorado. I can say, man, my bag, depending on my list, when I have an offer, you got in Mercury. So the issue of the Mercury contest, you have to listen to Mercury. The best thing you can do is start Mercury to campaign against it. Maybe there's a lot of press on radio with campaign against it. It's the one the man who thinks about it. It's no longer stop it, man.
Okay. Thank you. Let me go back to my guest as we close up. Let me start with the PRO, Mr. Mark Noir. Mark, you want to say something before we close?
Yes, certainly. Let me say thanks to you, and at the same time, I appreciate the callers.
I'm not taking any more calls again. All the lines are ringing. No time.
Right. As I elongate this, Magibi is a melting point, like I indicated earlier. Magibi is an epitome of true unity in Liberia, a place where you found all the tribes, and in the midst of the diversity there, we enjoy unity. On the basis of that, no one person in Liberia can deprive, and in Magibi can deprive his friend and say you cannot become somebody here. When you look at how much the person has contributed and how much the person will contribute to our country, all of us as young people in that country will feel very safe and secure that we protect the political interests of former Minister McGill, because when you talk about Minister McGill coming to the Senate, it implies that you're protecting the political interests of Magibi County. And nobody can disenfranchise the county, needless to talk about Minister McGill. We're very grateful. I'm honored to be here today. I am not the spokesperson. I am the chairperson of the Ponkipan movement.
Ponkipan movement, yes. Ponkipan movement.
Right.
So what does a Ponkipan movement do?
The Ponkipan
movement. What are you involved in?
The Ponkipan movement is in the business of reaching out to individuals in Magibi to speak to the consciences of our people that Minister McGill is the right choice and the best person to become the Senator Magibi.
The Ponkipan movement.
Yeah.
Mr. Kolba.
Thank you, Jala, and let me say thank you to all of the callers. They have said it well. There was only one dissenting view as it relates to the minister contesting in the county. What we want to say to our people, it is time for Magibi to get development. It is no time to play with our county development. Electing former Minister McGill to the Senate in Magibi County is a plus for this county, and as such, we will not rest. We are going to go through the length and breadth of the county. For some of us, we are stakeholders in the county, and people listen to us. We will go in the valley, we will climb the mountain, we will go in the swamp, we will roll up our sleeve to make sure that the next senator of this county be Honorable Nathaniel Fallow Mange. And thank you for the opportunity, and God bless our country, Mama Liberia.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Chada. I must appreciate you for the platform provided for us to expand on our ideas. Quickly, let me speak to the conscience of one of the Magibians that called, Elisha Flomo. In all fairness, once I'm accused, and then I came out to say, I challenge it, I want to have my days in court, I'm glad. You cannot say I should go in court by force. It's not possible I will go to court by force. But at least when the indictment is created, I'm prepared to go there so as to exonerate myself. But quickly, let me appreciate our fellow Magibians for listening to us. And we think this is the best time to make a better decision. Magibi County for all of us. The only way we can make Magibi better is to unite. A united front is the best way to foster development. As a development icon, we do believe Honorable Mange could be the best choice. And to all of our conscience, consortium members, we are also appealing to your conscience. We are coming to you. Mind you, we are just a party to the consultant. We are coming to you. We will talk to you in order to see reason. As he saw reason for the re-election of President Weah, we want you to see reason to also support Minister Mangill, the former minister. Thank you very much. God bless you. Have a better time.
And this is also we're doing for the people of Margibi County. We have Kisi people there.
Yeah.
There are people in Bapol County where Fallow Mangill comes from. And then Fallow is a Kisi name. I didn't get my guess very well. Abdullah Katama said he stayed downtown. I thought he said he's downstairs. It's a miscommunication. We agreed for 5 o'clock. The flyers are done. We're done on the Facebook, on the air and TV. At the house, I didn't give him, send it back to him. But we concluded last night. We talked this morning that he will have come. I will do a bit of monologue on some of the issues trending in our country. And I also gauge your views of what you think about what the young guys have said in studio. Is it feasible for the former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs to contest after being designated by the U.S. government? One of them raised an argument. I need to check that very well. Whether the Vice President was still unsanctioned while she was elected as Vice President to President George Weah. But I know that Joel Howard Taylor and feed all Liberians, including Eden Snow, if my mind can serve him well, where all the sanctions were lifted on them during Madam Sali administration. I said to be corrected though. Where's the Crew King? Where's the Crew King? The Crew King, where can I find you after here? The medical tendency of the FDA. All my people in Foya District, welcome to the show. I'm told that Radio San Quentin in Sanacoli, Nima County is also reeling this program. This is ERBC Radio and other frequencies across Liberia. 89.9, 99.9, and other frequencies across Liberia. You can afford to leave it because the best is yet to come. We stay here on the Bumper Show. Ezekiel Makondo of Radio San Quentin says, yeah, we live on Radio San Quentin. The President of Liberia comes live in Sanacoli this week, rather. Melvin Kazulu, welcome. Let me go and take my time to talk on a few issues. And I'll do a bit of monologue. It is just 15 minutes past the hour. I will talk for at least for 30 minutes and leave the other minutes with you to talk. And I will gauge your views. You know, the young people here have come with new arguments. Their argument is that Nathaniel Mangill, the Bill Twawi, and that of the Solicitor General former were designated by the U.S. government for alleged corruption. But the presumption of innocence still matters. You must hear them before you convict them. And so these young people who come from one of the rich counties of Liberia called Margibi are saying, you cannot designate Mr. Mangill and others. You've not asked them, you're not carried in the court, but now you want to stop their constitutional rights as guaranteed and enshrined in the Constitution of our country for not contesting. Are you getting the argument they are portraying here? They're trying to make almost through the argument. But the law is also there. Whether the law will support them contesting, I don't know yet. If the law stops them, that's the law. If the law says you can contest, that's the law. I have not read any portion of the law that debars them from contesting because they've been designated by the U.S. government. So what do you make of their argument? The other time, I was so disappointed at some point, very flabbergasted, or I may say very disillusioned, when there was a decision taken against one Liberian lawyer. And every time I see that old man carry coal in his car, I feel so bad about him. This old man, I just forget his name, he's a lawyer who was barred by the court, and he was a political guy. He wanted to contest. Someone can send me that old man's name. He's a lawyer. Margaret Jones. Margaret Jones was alleged to have tampered with his client's money or their case whatsoever. The court, they ruled against it, say, since he did this one and did the one, he can't practice law in Liberia. That's the only thing a man know to do. The only thing he learned to do. My only thing I learned is to talk. I can do other things other way, right? But for the last 24 years, I've been journalist in this country. All I can do is to talk. When you tell them for me, what I would do now? I want to talk again. I can do other work to survive. But I know this one best because I get degrees in it. I get degrees in it. I've been there for over 2 decades. So if you took this microphone from me and say I can't be a journalist again, then I tend to wonder. It reminds me when I was the vice president of the president of Liberia and Ase Jackson was the deputy minister of information. We were singing and some songs differently. Let me say welcome to you, Mr. Ase G. Doe, my friend and brother of the GAC. I'm doing well. But Ase, hope you get well very soon. Ase G. Doe of the GAC. Hope you are doing something. Are you doing some well right now? You know, so the argument was that the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was trying to infuse a draconian law of Decree 88A that was promulgated by the PRC government of Seneca and Doe. And I was the vice president of the Press Union of Liberia. And I raised this issue with Mr. Kamara A. Kamara. We cannot say that the Ellen government say before you practice as a journalist, you must go and register $125 before you can practice as a journalist. But those are laws that were draconian that even led to the Doe being toppled as a president because those laws were not benefiting the country. These were some of the same laws that we at the Press Union, I as vice president of the Press Union, and Kamara, whose I was passed by the president for non-speech offensive SYZ, that President George Weah said these laws are bad. Send Abdullah Kamara then started the law. I as president, I will make sure the law to not exist. And the president, you know, he sent it to the legislature, they canceled the laws. But under Madam Sirleaf administration, they were saying they want to enforce that law. A law that was promulgated in 1985 by Seneca and Doe. Madam Sirleaf came with the vision that this country was not in a real perspective. You want to put it in a real perspective? And she said to us, there will be no business as usual when she took the oath of office here in this country. And she said to us, I will break away from the past. But some of the things she did here was nothing that she did from the past. Some of the things were said in the past. And so the imposition of that law that talked about a journalist going to register $125 annually before you practice or say behind the microphone was draconian. That is why I stood against the government at the time. It was the reason why Madam Sirleaf gave $15,000 to people in this country in her administration to take us out of power. When Madam Sirleaf saw that we were recalcitrant, we were so cantankerous at the point that we can't listen to her as leaders of the Press Union, she took money and gave it to some people in the government at the time. $15,000 were given to people in the government. When we went to Ganta, those guys followed us in Ganta. We don't have money. They were giving back a rights to people, giving it $25-30 and say vote against Jala Griffey and Kamara A. Kamara because they failed to listen to Madam Sirleaf. We were doing it in their supreme interest as Liberian journalists, but they didn't understand that they followed the cash. They removed us. So I'm trying to bring these historical fights to the fray, that things have happened in the past that were not good and we should not try to institute them today. So let me go back to the story of Margaret Jones. Margaret Jones is disbanded from practicing law in the country. And the only thing he can do is to do law. So the owner was constrained to go and take his old boss and start bringing coal from Todi to come sell. I think that's what that woman is living on. In other words, they killed that man's dream. So now the U.S. government has said Nathaniel Mangeo and others are designated for alleged corruption. They are going to be tried in any code of competence jurisdiction, even though we cannot take the allegations from Uncle Sam lightly. No, I will not take it lightly because Mangeo himself has said they want to go to court and prove their innocence, which is a due process. They have to hear before you convict them. In the absence of conviction or hearing, it means that you cannot stop them from contesting. That's the argument these young guys were raising here, which it got to the back of my head. So when America say Mangeo is corrupt, Bill Tower corrupt, and that CFAS is corrupt, and the Liberian government listened to the wisdom of Uncle Sam, which is the father of democracy in the world. The free world president said, this country is corrupt, these are corrupt. Mr. President said, I will suspend them. He suspended them. It was not very, it took some time. They themselves resigned from power. So can we say they shouldn't participate in any other thing in this country? How do they survive with their family? There where the human rights issue comes in. My people, listen to this. Let me take down my glasses. There where the human rights issues come in. If the man is designated, he can go to America, he can travel to other countries, and you say he's corrupt. Allegedly, you are not proving any case against him. He doesn't work. He was working in a very good office. You took him from there. He doesn't have salary again. Then you say he can contest. He can contest as a senator or representative or any other position. Then it becomes a human rights issue. Because America respects human rights. America respects human rights so very well, so they cannot be the one holding somebody and say, oh, the man should die, his family should die because they say he's corrupt. So these are some of the things we're saying here. Look, to tell you that America, that I know, respect human rights. One day I applied for visa. I was going to the States. We got an invitation from the Liberian Journalists Association in America, IJA. I was the vice president of President of Liberia, heading almost 18 journalists of America. Under that very heavy rain, a rain that day as though heaven has opened. If one drop drops on you, it's like a choking you will rock. We stood under that rain in front of the American embassy for the whole day. We got soaking wet. And every one of us who went to that place were denied visa by the American government. Reason best known to them, we couldn't ask any question. But guess what? Now I'll bring a story about my sister who is a journalist. I was sitting there and I watched Madam Thomas Lonja Brown. That story ever comes to me. She and her husband applied for visa with their son. They were going for vacation. The American government issued visa to the husband and issued visa to the wife. But their son, just about 5 years old, was denied visa. So Reverend Brown's contention was, America, you say you respect democracy, you respect human rights. Where do you want this my son, my 5 years old son, to go? Who will take care of him on my way? And so what happened? They were so embarrassed because they have already issued a visa to the two of them and said, can you issue a visa to the boy? So the Reverend went there and said, take away your visa from my book. I don't want it. And, you know, he started making some heavy noise at the embassy that day. And Tom, my sister, was also very embarrassed with what happened at the embassy. She was like confused. Why my son? Who takes care of my son here? But what they did was that at some point, they knew that family values counts. They issued a labor visa. They all went to the States. I'm telling you that America is a respecter of human rights. So they cannot be the one playing on the rights of others who they think are corrupt in their own mind, and they have been designated. So if you say Mangeo, the Bill Tower, and that of, how you call him, Serena Sifas cannot go to America, they shouldn't work in the Liberian government, but they can't work in anything, so what can they do? How do they survive? So it becomes a human rights issue. That's a company now we should be looking at as Liberians. If America say they can't contest, then it becomes a serious human rights issue that we should question America for saying that these guys cannot go out, but they can work in government, they can contest in any position. I'm just saying to say that in the Mange case. Let me rest on that. And go to Mr. President. Let me say welcome to you, Mr. President. His Excellency Ambassador Dr. George Opomane Bekugbe. Say koze for the crown jirate tanu tapewia. Yesterday I went into Arava. I was at the airport and I walked on the red carpet after you left. By you went to the VIP. We were all around the VIP when you came and we took pictures and all of those. Parker for fun of the team from the LBS and Thomas and the rest of you from MICAT, you were there and we say welcome to the president. But the president was quizzed by the journalists on some issues. He made mention of something that came to my mind and I said, this country, we need to pray for this country. This crab mentality is sinking down. Mr. Tennessee, you gotta tell me where you be after 6 o'clock. Yeah, you gotta tell me. This crab mentality is coming so very high. When it is not me, it should not be George Weah. If it is not me, it should be Cummins. Oh yeah, just that. So, I believe in my mind that what is happening with this rest crisis is getting political. Rest is a political commodity that led to the 1979 rest riot here when Florence Chenoweth and others were saying from the Agriculture Ministry that they were about to carry the price of rice up so that Liberians can get involved in production of rice in their own country. But that mechanism that was being put in place did not resonate with the people very well. One thing I know, maybe there was not much education done about why they want to carry prices, because at the time it was the Towa government. They were talking about what, so the government of Towa was saying, we got to carry the price up. But they didn't know that the Marcus Matthews and the lack of Marcus Down and the lack of my old man, Deacon Carlos and others were saying around, radical young people who wanted to see the downfall of the government. Because they felt that their political rights would be trampled upon when they asked for permission to protest. They said no. So they were looking for just an inch. So rest has been a political community in our country. We should not play politics around my people. We want to see a repeat of what happened here for 14 years when we were running here and there. I always told my story. God bless me, God bless my family, God bless my brothers and sisters. None of us carry on because our mother was straight to us. When we were in a village, 1991, when young guys were living from other distances, from across Simple Road, from Bapolu, from Lofa, coming past in the village, I was in Yanakole Rep. When you go to Sanoye district, go to Sanoye town, my mother took me in the morning. By the time it was 5:30, she woke me up and we are on our way to the farm. The rain falling, whatsoever we on that rain, we'll go there. She would make a fire, we'll sit inside the fire will get, it will dry our clothes. Then she'll look for food for to eat. And we spent all that time up in 1991. Then I came back to Morovia. You know what my mother did that for? Because she didn't want me to join the rebels because I had a future. Who knows if I joined the rebels, I would die. Many of you who are around here who listen to me have stories to tell as to how the war affected you. Do we want a repetition of what happened? No, we don't want a repetition. So Mr. President said something yesterday. I'm coming back to the meat of the discussion. When he returned to the country, he was asked by the journalist, Mr. President, asked by the rest, Mr. President said, oh, when I came the other time I was in Liberia, I was told that there was a shortage of rice. When I visited the rice warehouses, we discovered that there was sufficient rice in the country. And the importers of rice to us say the rice will be in the country of the next year. They have sufficient product to supply the country of the next year. So in my mind, President Well was wondering why these importers of rice are not supplying the market. Are they hoarding the product so that it can go scarce to carry the price up and cause artificial scarcity? In my mind, that's how the president was thinking. But I got another thought about it. These business people sometimes, I don't know what they were thinking. Because if you have sufficient rice to supply to the market, and you hold the people hostage, you don't supply them, What you give to the opposition, you give them more arms against the government to lambast the government, to say the government is incapacitated, the government is inept, is corrupt, it cannot provide for its own people. Because rice is our staple. Why we can't find rice? So some of them go and collude with these importers. And when they do that, they sit on the back and criticize and say, hey, say Joe, we're not the best man to be president here, SYC. They do these things to create artificial shortage so that the government will look ugly. I don't want to rule any of that out. Why must you allow people to stay in line for all the 4 5 days in the sun, in the rain, someone else sleeping outside there because of your political ego? You want to be president by all means, is to make Georgia unpopular. You're making all kind of way, and you think that you can be president at his expense. But we got story for you guys. Come 2023. We got stories for you guys. If you think you can use the negatives or dance to the tunes of international music being played around here, that you think the international community will come and vote for Liberian people, is not true. Uncle Sam and the rest of the international community, they will help us to guide our process to have a peaceful transition, whether it's a continuation of Jehovah, which I know will be a continuation. You understand? So it's not the West that will come and vote for us, it's the Liberian people. That was demonstrated yesterday by the ocean of people I saw at the airport. Liberians from all walks of life went to that airport. Yes, someone will say there were some empty buses. Yes. These empty buses you saw there yesterday, there were some Liberians who are citizens. They are Liberians who say, we'll go see our president. So the guy in 1 or 2 empty buses, they went there. But that place was so packed that I left with hunger yesterday from 12 o'clock up to 6 o'clock. When I came to the office, the gas are taking my whole system. I have to put the regulator on and they have water to drink. Because there was no food, you can't find food anywhere. The whole place is packed, everybody eating everything. You can't even walk. You can't even walk and pass through the crowd. Liberians went there in their numbers to welcome Bekube. But let me end on 2 things quickly as I open the line. I said that earlier and I reiterate. The good stance of Mr. President. He said these things before and he said it again at the UN General Assembly. I listened to some people say, oh, the president said, not the president's speech was empty. He didn't say anything. He didn't, but the president was saying to y'all, saying to us the thing he has done. He didn't go to tell you, say, I come in base house paper. No. He said, under this period to this period, in 1 year, time I left for here, the United Nations, there have been no political president in 4 years and I took office. No one person in jail for being a political prisoner for causing the president or maybe saying against the president. Or maybe for treason. No. He said no political prisoner. He goes to say, African leaders must respect constitutional terms. And these are the music that the West want to hear because they believe in democracy. The American people believe in democracy. That is why this is why this man always said, the former president of America, the blind man, what's my man name? I just forget his name. Plenty talking about me, I forget his name. Barack Obama. The man said, protestation is another way of enhancing our democracy. He was asking African leaders to ensure that people want to protest, that they protest. You should even guard them so they can get involved in hooliganism. That is why you saw the last protest here. When the police went there giving food to the protesters, some of them were hungry after singing bang, bang, bang around here, they were hungry. The police gave them food, they were eating. That's part of our democracy. So, President, we are saying a few things, and I will say, let me take the ear from my hair again, making my hair happy. So, President, we are saying something, which I will say again. You know, I was saying earlier, and I will say again, I was going to the airport yesterday, I was reading on the international website, was it BBC or so, or CNN. I got to know that this old man called Chiedo Obiang, who was a guest of our country when we celebrated July 26th here in Liberia in Bangabong County. He overthrew his uncle in 1978. He has been president since over 40-some years. He wants to amend the constitution to run again for a 5th or 6th term. The opposition in the country are getting uneasy. They are threatening the peace. But he is a dictator. A man who is, I think his son is a vice president, what I read. His son rides one of the best jets around, the yacht, some of the biggest cars around the world. He's a lover of jewelry. You see him, he got all kind of things hanging on him. He's just a bluff boy. But the country is rich in terms of oil. So what Ted Obiang has done is that he has managed to say, they help, the West wait. I don't get time for the West. I'll run my country, I want to run it. Okay, he has oil. So he has managed to hold on the people because the oil there, that's the oil using to make the country stable. A lot of good things happening there, but democracy is not stable. What he does that now, as a man who has projected himself all this going and making himself to be a dictator, what he's doing there now is that he is intimidating opposition politician, putting somebody in jail. Nobody can criticize him. Someone then will grab it, will quarter you. 825, quarter you. They just have been like, bro, we don't do that because we believe in democracy. But how am I doing it there? So he wants to run for a 5th term. So President Weah is saying to the United Nations people that in Liberia, after my 2nd term, when I win elections, 2029, 2030, I will turn all power peacefully, just as Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did here. Just as Nelson Mandela did in South Africa, that Ellen followed her footsteps. I will also follow Ellen's footsteps because it was a good plan and good thing done by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf that after her 2nd term, she stood and said, I will not contest again. It was just after we had 10 years of uninterrupted peace when the Congo got silent here. So President Weah is saying to the West that I'm calling on the military junta in Guinea, for example, or in Mali, or in Burkina Faso, that they should respect the constitutional term and turn power to a civilian for peaceful coexistence. So in other words, President Weah is saying to you that he respects democracy. That's the man called Mane. When bullets were flying here, when some of these political leaders were enjoying themselves in America and other places, the Cassels who has been indicted, right? In the States, when they were flying jets, going here and there, enjoying themselves in America, when the Cummins and all were there, enjoying themselves with Coca-Cola, George Weah was riding plane, going from one place to the other, and asking world leaders to help intervene in the crisis in Liberia. There were UNICEF asked him to serve as global ambassador, free of charge, well paid. He was here in the Africans. He went on the war front to disarm child soldiers to encourage them. I have some of those photographs on my phone right now. I can download to Facebook. You will see them. He was not a war monster. Like others who stood in America, who sat in America and planned the war and was executed. The political arm of the MPFL called the Liberia United for Constitutional Democracy, where Madam Salim and others were there, late Harry Greaves, the late Harry Nguyen, and others were there. They planned in America. But the MPFL was the factional arm of it. But there they had the political arms that was supporting them. George Weah was a young man playing football in Monaco, in other places. He has not learned war anywhere. So he thinks that nobody should rule by the barrel of the gun. That was a simple message that President Weah was sending to the United Nations. Let me end on this one. I also made mention, which I'm recapping, about what he said about political prisoners. And I made mention of what happened here. The likes of Ronnie C. is a testimony here. Ronnie was in jail. I was contesting as vice president of the press union at that time. I just had ambition. When Peter Kobe was in power, we had gone to the press union. Peter Kobe called for a meeting of the minds, and we went with war clothes, and we were all campaigning for Ronnie C. to be released by the government because he was only writing a script to say that this man called Chris Stowe, agriculture minister, has stolen money from Liberia, that you are going to the fight against caterpillar worms in Bon County and Lofa. He must account for it. So if it had been the time of George Weah, if you accuse a minister in the government of stealing money that belongs to road construction, that minister will not sue you because it is part of the freedom of speech. So President Weah has gone now. What he did, he sent a law to the legislature to repeal it. So nobody can sue you based on free speech. You understand? But under Madam Salif, they sued Ronnie C. This man called Christophe sued Ronnie C. Yeah. Ronnie went to court over again, and the court found him guilty. They put him in jail. Ronnie was in jail for almost 2 months. He got sick. He said he wanted to go out of the country. They said no, he would bring the JFK. Ronnie was there as long as he was, and they asked him to apologize. He said no. I think some international pressure came on Madam Salif, and the way she saw things go in the country, they had to free Ronnie C. That was just, I think, her second term, right? Your second term, first year in her second term. In her first term, we saw what happened here. Charles Julu, the man who hailed from Grand Julia County, he was here when there was a situation at the mansion. He walked through the mansion. At the mansion, he said he wanted to take over as head of state. He said, "Yeah, let me play my cassette." And that's how I'm playing. When you play a cassette, you want to be president. So they knew the history of the guys from Grand Julia. So Madam Salif went and ran up some of the Grand Julians. I think it was 16 Grand Julians. They were brought in the Saw Beach. They were there. So my next state, they got blind. Charles Julu died after a few months. I think he got released or so. And you know, Jali and other people, I know there were 16 people. Some of them were in jail. Madam Salif went to the United Nations to address the United Nations. These guys were in jail. I didn't hear her make mention of these people being in jail at the time. I have political prisoners. But under George Weah, there's no one political prisoner. When Henry Costa came to this country, and then there was a situation of him being involved in parcel business, kind of XYZ, and all over the place, the government wanted to arrest him. He escaped through Sierra Leone XYZ. And I was thinking whether he had been arrested by the time he was in jail, because George Weah is not tolerating the person. So there have been so many things happening in this country that people see that they are not going well, but again, they close their mouth on it. So, Mr. President, I say thank you for coming back to our country, and thank you for a speech well delivered at the General Assembly. We are so proud of you. Liberians are proud of you. We urge you to remain on a good footing to help our country move forward. I will take some calls. Let me take a break. I want to get one song quickly to cool my tension. I want to get one song. Let me see if I can get this one. Let me get this one. Oh, my friend and brother Sabato Nouvelle Sabato. I'm doing lockdown to this movement right now. I'm very locked down right now to the bumper show. Thanks for the insight. Let me say hats off to my guys there in Santa Coli, Prison Stockholm. and the rest of the folks from the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism for a well colorful program in that county. The 42nd World Tourism Day celebration. Lance Bakayo, Deputy Minister of Tourism. Leviticus Pay Wama, how are you this, brother? Vice President for Instruction, Nima University. How is the president? Helen Man, following you from UN 1 House, 2nd Street. Helen, how are you, Helen Man? Following us from UN 1 House, 2nd Street. Joseph Tiwuya. Good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield. Thanks for the bumper show. I'm following you from a purple resident, Plebo, Southern District, Maryland County. Francis Ferguson, my President George Weah, welcome back 2020. Sensino Jordan, I'm watching from Accra, Ghana. I'm monitoring you from Zulu Whiskey. Is Emmanuel Gore is with us, Zabe. Irene Jogoyan Bobo, I'm to you not too well, Irene. You are in our office at the Director General, still Liberty Kiamu. Emmett Hammond, falling live from Kakata City. Juji Wongwe, watching from Johnsonville. Abraham Fode Faju, watching from Kakata City. Ambassador Dana Gisle, my one-time producer, is way there in Dubai. Closely following from the city of Cantera. A pleasant good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield, in your man Ferris Studios. He was my producer. Welcome to the Bumper Show. 15 minutes for interaction. The numbers to call are just 2 numbers. Don't call any other number until I call that number for you. 080-514-096. 080-514-096. 077-668-0373. 077-668-0373. Do not call any number until I call the number to you. I say call the one. 2 numbers are available. You will be on your own if you call any other number beside the numbers I'm calling. 080-514-096. 077-668-0373 are the 2 numbers. Hello, welcome. Let me hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Gracie, thank you so much for hosting the show this afternoon. I'm Abraham Jr. from ONSB Police Academy.
All right, sir.
Yeah, this country is very hard to deal with, like the rest issue I listened yesterday when the president said you will go and verify. So it is good, and it is message to all Liberia that it is good for you to verify before you take action. So they have to former minister Natana Makio and the other that he verify people suspended them. So I really want to commend him for what he did with Washington.
Okay. Thank you. Tiflos Kwese, he's following us from his Bachelor Bureau resident in Plebo, while Nyonyo Miller has joined us from Kisikam this evening. I don't know where Kisikam is. Patrick Jawe has joined us. Let me say welcome to you, every one of you. Let me take the next caller from this line. Hello, welcome. You live on the Bumper Show.
Hello, sir.
Hello, welcome. Let's hear you quickly. From what village? All right, sir. Let's hear you quickly.
Thank you for the Bumper Show. There are 2 issues I want to highlight on. The shortage of commodity on the Liberian market as for rent and gas. The second one is the issue of corruption.
Okay.
First of all, let me start with the issue of shortage of commodity on the Liberian market.
But you gotta make it snappy because those issues that were not in my discussion part, I don't want to bring them on the show.
First of all, I'm welcome the president back to Liberia. He's done a very great job. I think it will be better that the president appoint another people like the common minister is not working. And secondly, we need one group of people to be imposing rent and gas in the country. It is from that point here where the shortage all we're coming from. Like before, we only had cement. They were producing
Thank you so very kindly for that recommendation. I think those are good recommendations. Yes, hello, welcome, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm Nelson.
Nelson, what's your surname? The last name?
Nelson Campbell.
Mr. Kamel, welcome to the Bumper Show.
Okay, thank you so much. You see, Liberia, we are not in the interest of our country. Liberia.
Why you say so?
So, the president need to fire the commerce minister.
So why you are bringing different discussion in my discuss? I'm just I discuss series of issues we have at this time to discuss.
I will
And then
tell you one thing, my
yeah.
brother.
I know it concerning the resident. Why should she be fired?
Because he's not doing his work. You will not expect the president to go on tour when he comes back and start to do the work of a commerce minister. So he needs to be booted out. So we want to see.
Now he that she then not he.
Okay, she needs to be booted out. We want to see the right thing be done.
Okay.
Yeah?
Thank you
Yes.
so very kindly. The next caller, welcome. Let's hear you. Hello. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. No time. You have 1 minute.
Yeah, my name is Anthony Dana. I'm calling from the Pipeline Johnson Bay Road.
All right.
Yeah, I want to recommend something to the government and the president. And what we do now, the government ministry need to have an update every month at EFBC to give people as to what is unfolding with the rest issue. What I'm very sure of the established the office of the people to the real warehouse, and they get updated that when people as to what when they continue if the reference will go on because of global issue, then they be able to say it. So every time on Friday or the Saturday, then they come to KFBC and they get that this month the next month the reference also can adjust themselves. But the reference is next to the next people all expecting it.
Okay. Thank you. And then that would just be one of the reasons. You know, there's a global economic crunch that is here as a result of the Ukraine-Russia crisis. Oil price has gone up. Commodity price will be affected. That's why you saw many of the people who spoke at the U.S. Almost all the presidents who spoke at the General Assembly, they talk about the Ukraine war to be ended. Because as a result, things are going better in the country, in the world rather, not just in Liberia. Let me tell this caller. Hello, welcome, you live. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Yes, what's your name? Reduce the monitor. Edison, reduce the monitor, please.
Okay, let me do that quickly. Sorry, I'm using a smartphone. Let me just put it up.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
how you doing?
I'm okay.
How you doing?
I'm okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the talking point. And, we will continue to flag the issue that have to do with our day-to-day activities as it relates to the Commerce Minister. Now, the Commerce Minister should be responsible enough for these things. Where in the world you will see a Commerce Minister will be in position looking at commodity prices that they're supposed to have control over these business people within the state. And we are seeing our country, these people don't have control over these things. This is not the Madasadi administration where she now or Chelsea said that she does not have press control. No. This is a democratic government that we are running in this country.
But the Ellen government was also a democratic government.
She run a democratic government, but we understand that her government was a good one. For us, a state president would never...
But for others, it was a good one.
To others, it was good, but for us,
Maybe you were in opposition at the time, so you didn't see good of the government at the time, too.
even though I was in opposition and now we are not in power, we agree. But if a certain president to make such a statement, it does not make sense.
All right, thank you. No time. Others have to participate. Hello, welcome to the next caller.
Hello.
So many things on our docket this afternoon. Go ahead, let's hear you from the talking point.
Thank you, Mr. Gracie. This is J.C. Karago Wise, and I'm calling for the headquarters of the veterans people and the Bagube African community.
Bagube boys, welcome to the show.
Let me say thank you for the show this afternoon. I was fortunate to have attended a day school that was also attended by, a country director or one of the pro-debaters of the Global Magnitsky Act. And a question was posed to him, with respect to how an American citizen, is accused of corruption or economic impropriety. How is that person treated?
and his response, it would be useful to know that.
What was the response?
The response was that if an American citizen who is accused, that person is turned over to the American government, and the American government is giving the prosecutorial power to prosecute that person. And no Amnesty Act will not come with those harsh punishments that they came up with against Montana National Material and now the common national court. So I just think that the whole thing is a very point, against our government officials. So send those don't go in our democratic
Okay.
Thank you for
Thank you, David Golaka. We say, welcome. The next caller, let's hear you quickly.
Hello?
Hello, you live on a bumper show. All the lines are ringing at once. You have 10 seconds, no time.
Yeah, my name is Morris Pastor. I'm calling from Joe Company, I am you.
All right, Morris, let's hear you.
Yeah, Roger, I mean, all the doctor there, we're on our temple, we're going to go and laughing at all, but never be laughing at all. What I'm laughing at all, we'll be